And then we find out something very interesting about this house. The seller, not only did he get a VA loan, but he actually got a down payment assistance from the city. If the seller has a down payment assistance program on the property, then they cannot sell the house for 5 years or sometimes longer. So what did we do? How does an agent get paid on a creative finance deal? I'm at a new deal. I just bought it in Mesa, Arizona. I live here in Mesa, Arizona, so this is a great deal for me specifically because of the location and what I'm going to use this house for. This house is a 2-bed, 2-bath with a little office, which is kind of cool. It would cash flow as a rental, but I'm not going to actually utilize this as a rental. I'm going to let my friends and family from out of state stay at this property. Here's the story of this house. It's in a gated community on a golf course, but they had a hard time selling this house, and here's a couple of reasons why. It smells like smoke in here. It's not so bad. You could tell that they smoked in the house a little bit, but they probably smoked on the back patio and it kind of came into the house. But the number one reason why this house did not sell is because the market is slowing down. And then number 2, smoke. Number 3, seller had no equity. The seller had no equity. What does that mean? It means that the house was sold to me for $400,000. I really don't care so much about the purchase price of the house. I care more about the payment that I'm making. And so here's the payment that I'm gonna be making right here. That includes the HOA, that includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Now I could rent this out for $3,000 a month and I could make $500 a month in cash flow, but here's what I'm actually going to do with it. I get so many people that come in from out of town for my masterminds, friends of mine, students that have been in my program for a really long time, and then they become friends of mine. And so they want to stay usually at my guest house. The problem is my guest house always has somebody in it. And so I'm like, man, I need an overflow house. So this is my overflow house. It is in a neighborhood, really quiet. This is kind of the vibe of the neighborhood, really wide streets. People, this is our house. That's my next door neighbor. So I wonder what you call these. I think you call these townhouses. Let me ask my wife, she knows. Hey, what do you call these? Do you call these townhouses because they're connected, or what are they?
I think they'd be considered a twin home, right?
Twin home. Okay, my wife says it's called a twin home. So Kevin Cho, one of my students, he's been in my program for about 1.5 years. Because of the interest rates rising and days on market rising, there's a really good list if you want to go get a sub-2 deal. This is a sub-2 deal. And the list that he pulled is he went on PropStream. So you guys want to go to PropStream, I'll put a link down below. He pulls a list that is VA loans, FHA loans, and are listed on the market for 90 days or longer. And he just calls the agent and says, hey, would your seller be open, if I could pay your commission, would your seller be open to doing a sub-2 deal? And so the seller on this deal was like, absolutely, let's do it all day long. They had the house listed for 4 months. The seller had an opportunity to take a job out of the state and they couldn't sell the house. The other reason, one of the biggest reasons, is because the seller bought the house on a VA loan, which means he didn't have to put any money down. So if he didn't have to put any money down, what does that tell you? It means he doesn't have any equity. If he doesn't have any equity, then how is he gonna sell the property without cutting a check out of his own pocket? Kevin ends up getting the seller all the way to a point where he's about to get into contract. And then Kevin sends me a text message and says, hey, the deal's falling apart. The seller has a bunch of reservations. And I go, get me on the phone with the seller, man, no problem. His concerns were, well, what happens if you don't make the payment? What about the due on sale clause? I overcome those objections. We get into a contract. And then we find out something very interesting about this house. This house is actually, the seller, not only did he get a VA loan, but he actually got a down payment assistance from the city. If the seller has a down payment assistance program on the property, then they cannot sell the house for 5 years or sometimes longer. So what did we do? Well, we did what is called an agreement for sale. So if you guys are a sub-2 student, this is something that people don't talk about on YouTube. There's nowhere, there's no books about this. There's no seminars that teach this. I'm one of the very, very few creative finance investors that actually understand how to do this, but we did an agreement for sale instead of a pure sub-2. Here's the situation, okay? So I buy the house. The seller has the house, obviously. They go to an agent, okay? The agent puts it on the market for like 4 months and they can't sell the house. Even after 4 months, they can't sell the house. So Kevin, my student, comes to the seller or to the agent and says, hey, can we do a sub 2? Let's do a sub 2 deal. All right, this is my student. And Kevin knows I live in Mesa and also I'm a buyer in Mesa. So Kevin comes to me and says, hey, would you buy this? I go, yes, I would buy this. So the agent, who was going to make $0 on the listing because the house couldn't sell, and the seller, who was going to have to write a check for 15 grand to get rid of the house, basically is like, I'll let you. This is the crazy thing. The seller let us take over their house for $0. $0. I didn't give the seller any money. We didn't have to use a title and escrow company to do this. I did pay attorney's fees to my attorney. The agent got paid $12,000. So I'm all into it. $12,000, $5,000, $2,000. So 19. So I'm into this $19,000. It will cash flow $6,000 a year. Let's divide that by 19,000. 31%. Okay, great. 31% cash on cash return. There you go. Boom. The agent got paid a full commission. So where does that money come from? It comes from typically 5 different places. If I'm giving the seller a lot of cash as a down payment, which I didn't do on this deal, the seller actually received no money. What the seller actually received on this is the seller received a savings of money, right? They didn't have to come out of pocket to sell the house. In other situations where the seller's not in that same situation, I will sometimes get the seller cash in their pocket and we will negotiate that the seller pays the agent that commission, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, in this situation, I paid the commissions, but did I pay those commissions out of my pocket? Did Kevin, my student, have to pay the agent out of his pocket? No. My student Kevin got paid $5 grand for putting the deal together and basically introducing me to the seller, because my team closed it, my team did all the paperwork, my team did everything. And then on top of it, that $19,000 that I'm out of pocket on the deal, where did that money come from? This is where people are confused, because they hear sub 2, they hear creative finance, like, you can do this with no money out of your pocket. Well, how am I doing this deal with no money out of my pocket? I didn't do a credit check. Nobody checked my bank balance. Nobody checked my tax returns. Nobody checked my job history or any credentials whatsoever. Literally, I've only talked to the seller over the phone. We didn't even go through a title company. I'm the owner of the property through an agreement for sale, which is amazing. But where did my money come from? Now, I have $19,000, but I've been in a habit of buying deals without capital out of my pocket. So what I do is I will raise capital from private money investors, okay, private money lenders. And you can do this multiple ways. You can either A, partner with somebody where you bring the deal to the table and somebody else brings 19 grand, and then you guys split the deal however you want, like 50-50, 70-30, 60-40. How do you structure that? Well, it depends on how many other lenders you have. The place that I got the money on this particular deal is I have a private money lender. Her name's Desiree. I pay her 10% on her money. So she gave me $19,000. I give her a payment every month for $175. This deal would cash flow $500 a month. You take the $175 out of that $500, and now your net cash flow $325 per month. No money out of your pocket, no credit check, no credentials, nothing, literally nothing. This is my first time even to the property. I literally have never been to the property before. What I'm gonna be doing with the property, I'm in a little bit different situation than I was 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm in a situation where I have enough money that I can make this payment every month and let my friends and family stay here for free, which is kind of like the goal that you wanna be in. You wanna be in a situation where you can let people stay in your houses. I'm actually gonna put the Kia, if you guys know about the Kia that we bought subject to, I'm gonna put the Kia in this house so that when my guests come in from out of town, they have a car that I bought sub to, and they live in a house and they stay in a house that I bought on an agreement for sale. It's the most creative freaking thing ever. Anyway, agent got paid, told you guys how an agent got paid, told you how we found the deal off PropStream, pull it FHA, VA list, listed on the market 90 days that on PropStream. Link for PropStream is down below. You could invest with us, so go to investwithpace.com. People say, are you owning these properties in your personal name? No, guys, we go through a company called startwithprime.com. So go to startwithprime.com. So this property will be held in one of my LLCs. I have an Arizona LLC. Prime set it all up. I don't set up my own LLCs. That's stupid. Like, it's like, why would I set up my own LLC? Would I repair my own teeth? Would I change my own oil? Would I fix my own car? No, I would never do that. Why would I set up my own LLC? I don't know what the hell I'm doing, right? Hopefully you guys learn a thing or two. Please put some comments and some questions down below. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video once this thing's all the way decorated and decked out. And maybe you one day will stay here. If you are a Sub 2 student coming in for the mastermind, you're probably gonna be able to stay here if you're one of my leaders. So appreciate you guys. Have a great day.